Vast numbers of lives have been destroyed by it. But many people on the left still claim that cancel culture doesn't exist. Even when the actual American president has been kicked off the internet. And now, the left-wing mob has come for Dave Chappelle because he dared to joke about the trans community. And there were some very pertinent lessons to be drawn from this episode. Firstly, Dave had also done some decidedly edgy jokes about space Jews. But of course, the left didn't mind about them at all. Weird. It's almost like they're riddled with anti-Semitism or something. All the usual voices also piped up to whine about what a marginalised community trans people are. But here's the rub. Because if there's a sector of society that you can't criticise, and you can't disagree with, and you can't even joke about, then they're not oppressed. They're protected. By definition. It's also long overdue time that the left realise that humour is good, but hate is bad. Yet, as usual, they want to censor other people's humour while retaining the liberty to spout their own hatred. And this is another dramatic wrong turn. Because if you want to win people over to your cause, you're not going to do it by hurling abuse, spewing bigotry, pointing fingers, bullying people, and attempting to silence them. All you'll do then is alienate them and provoke opposition. This is the lesson that BLM and Britain's Labour Party have refused to learn. And it's the lesson the trans community is refusing to learn too. This was laid bare in Chappelle's special. Because much of it was dominated by the story of his trans friend, Daphne Dorman. Dorman had spoken up to defend him. And as a result, she was so badly bullied by the trans community that she committed suicide. But despite driving one of their own to death, their response this time has been to pile in with more unpleasant bullying. Still, in funnier news, Jacqueline Moore, one of the writers of Dear White People, speedily attempted to get a black man cancelled. So no doubt the same intolerant mob will come for them for cultural appropriation, or not staying in their lane, or some other imagined thought crime. In the similar fashion to the way the deranged wing of the trans lobby are currently attacking Kathleen Stock at Sussex University. Now look, Dave Chappelle is such a big name that he's not getting cancelled. Because that's not how it works. Despite the way all the defenders of cancel culture claim that it only holds those in power to account, the truth is the opposite. Because it's only those further down the ladder who really get affected. Most people destroyed by cancel culture are so obscure and impoverished that we'll never hear their tales. But the mid-ranking figures give a much clearer idea of what's actually going on. Like Ethan Van Sciver. Now, Ethan has been a pretty successful comics artist for 20 years, producing a lot of work for Marvel and DC. But he recently made the fatal mistake of admitting that he votes Republican. So the pitchforks were raised and the torches were lit. Like many other art forms, the comic industry has been overrun by activists intent on using the medium to push their agenda. And like all others, they are bullying, intolerant, angry bigots who tolerate no dissent. Now, not only have they made shit comics that have driven consumers away, but they're brimming over with hatred for anyone who differs from them. When he came out as a Republican, Van Sciver got tons of abuse and repeated threats of violence. He was universally denounced as a Nazi and a white supremacist. The radical contingent mobilised and put pressure on publishers to drive him from the industry. They wrote numerous articles and hit pieces, usually full of lies, in an overt attempt to destroy his career, reputation, and life. As Sciver put it himself, this wasn't just people who were mad at you. You've run afoul of a group of activists who are organised, and who have tactics that they've utilised quite successfully to destroy the lives of people who got in the way of their agenda. DC Comics know that if they continue to employ him, then they would remain a target for harassment by these people. Sciver further commented that cancel culture isn't just getting you fired. That's only a part of it. It's destroying your name and salting the earth underneath you, so that you can't find a job anywhere else. Ever again. And if you do, they'll be watching you. And they'll attack whoever it is who dares to give you work. Anyone who dares to treat you like a human being will come under attack by the social justice warriors. Now, Sciver's made of stern stuff, and he's fighting back. But more fragile individuals, like Daffy Dormer, are broken by this. These attacks destroy lives, and we should have nothing but contempt for those who say that cancel culture doesn't exist. If you've enjoyed this film, please like and subscribe, and if you're interested in these topics, I've written 2 books which go into them in extensive detail. They're called The Tyranny of the Left, and they're available on the links below. Please feel free to pick them up and let me know what you think. Thank you.